Hi, my name is Katie Grant. Welcome to my special library site visit presentation on the Boston College Theology and Ministry Library. The Theology and Ministry Library, or TML, founded in 2008, is located on the Boston College campus in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts. Here you can see the exterior of the three-story library building. All photos in this presentation are courtesy of the Theology and Ministry Library website, and all information presented comes from my interview with head librarian Steve Dalton, who was kind enough to give me a tour of the library a few weeks ago. Despite being only 10 years old, the library has a pretty interesting history. The library building was originally part of St. John's Seminary. Following the 2002 sex abuse scandal, the Catholic Archdiocese of Boston sold many of its assets. Between 2004 and 2007, Boston College purchased most of the real estate originally owned by the seminary. In 2008, the Weston Jesuit School of Theology and the Institute of Religious Education and Pastoral Ministry at Boston College combined to form the Boston College School of Theology and Ministry. The Theology and Ministry Library opened in 2008 to support not only the School of Theology and Ministry, but also St. John's Seminary, which had retained ownership of a single building adjacent to the library. The fact that the library supports more than one institution creates some unique challenges when it comes to user services and information needs. In addition to supporting the School of Theology and Ministry and St. John's Seminary, the Theology and Ministry Library also serves the Boston College Theology Department at both the undergraduate and graduate level. BC theology students primarily use BC's main academic library, but will sometimes use the Theology and Ministry Library for special assignments and as a study space, as the Theology and Ministry Library tends to be one of the least crowded libraries on campus, especially during busy times like finals week. As for the School of Theology and Ministry and St. John's Seminary, their information needs can be divided between the academic and the ecclesiastical. Although there is considerable overlap, the theology and ministry students are more in need of resources dealing with the academic study of religion, while the seminary students are using resources geared towards those within the Catholic Church. The library collection really represents the different needs of the library's different user groups. However, combining the collections was at first challenging. The collection is primarily made up of the collections from the two schools that would form the School of Theology and Ministry, as well as the St. John's Seminary collection. Although BC purchased the library building from St. John's Seminary, they did not purchase the collection. BC maintains and uses the collection under a curatorial agreement. The St. John's collection was originally cataloged using the Lynn-Peterson system, an alternative classification scheme for Catholic theological materials. According to head librarian Steve Dalton, although initial reclassification is complete, library staff still need to double-check 29,000 books to make sure they have been recatalogued using the Library of Congress classification system. A little about the collection. The Theology and Ministry Library has 300,000 volumes. TML considers its New Testament collection to be exceptionally strong. Other areas of particular emphasis include Old Testament, church history, ethics, pastoral and practical theology, liberation theology, sacraments, and spirituality. The library also subscribes to about 500 theology journals, most of them print. Although there is an initiative to convert to digital, the library wants to respect faculty sensitivities and preferences, so is converting at a rate of no more than 10 to 15 journals a year. The library offers many information services, including research consultations, workshops, and orientations for new students, which Mr. Dalton considers very important considering the large number of international students who use the library and may be unfamiliar with American library systems. Also important is the Writing Companion Center, where library staff and student volunteers offer assistance with written assignments. The library staff consists of 6 full-time staff members and 16 student workers, students from both Boston College and St. John's Seminary. Here, I chose to highlight some of the library's facilities. The Ryan Room contains conference space and the library's special collections, what they consider their most rare and valuable material. Environmental conditions are monitored more closely in the Ryan Room, with special attention being paid to temperature and relative humidity. Access is by appointment only and in the presence of a staff librarian. The library also has a ground floor auditorium that seats 90 and is used for guest speakers and other larger gatherings. The atrium is a large, multi-purpose area with 90 linear feet of exhibit space along 3 walls. The library hosts different exhibits every semester. As far as technology goes, the library has a computer lab with 30 computers for student use. Overall, I was really impressed with the Theology and Ministry Library at BC. I think they absolutely met all SLA competencies. I want to highlight a few things I think the library did exceptionally well. First of all, the library undergoes frequent evaluations, both internal and external. Library staff seek out feedback from faculty and students. As the library approaches its 10-year anniversary, it's engaging in even more self-evaluation, determining what has gone well in the past decade and where there is room for improvement. Also contributing to special library excellence, the library belongs to networks of other special libraries. BC has several special libraries, including a law library and a social work library. The Theology and Ministry Library is also part of the Boston Theological Institute Libraries and Resources Network, which includes 8 other theology libraries in the Boston area. Mr. Dalton mentioned how he felt that support from and collaboration with these other institutions had contributed to the library's success. What most impressed me was TML's commitment to serving and supporting both parent institutions. Although it was by no means a hostile takeover when BC purchased St. John's, I got the sense that in the wake of the abuse scandal, emotions were certainly raw. But I also got the sense that the library was instrumental in uniting the two institutions, and Mr. Dalton seemed especially proud of that as well. That concludes my presentation. Thanks for listening.